of 3 or 4 people who has been with them in every step of the way and love them with all their heart. Well, for me, it's a bit different. For me, it's 2 groups of people who have been with me in every step of the way and love them with all their heart. But before you think I'm crazy, let me explain. In 2019, approximately 7 years ago, my parents got divorced. It is a huge change in a little kid's life, not only because your parents won't be together anymore, but because your whole world gets divided in two. I remember it as if it was yesterday. My brother and I were already in bed, and my dad was working late again, so we would see him the next morning. My mom came into our room and did the same routine she did every night before we were going to bed. First my brother's bed, his goodnight kiss, and then mine. But when she came into my bed, I was innocent enough to ask her the question, at what time does that arrive? My mom stared at me, and did that face she always does every time she's going to say something either I don't like or something she doesn't like. And she told me that my dad was not coming home anymore. At first I didn't understand. I didn't know why my dad was not going to be with me anymore, or why he was not simply being there for me. So I asked again, but this time, deep inside of me, I already knew the answer. Are you getting a divorce? I asked. My mom started crying, and that was the only answer I needed. I curled up in the corner of my bed and started crying too. I didn't let her or anyone touch me, even try to comfort me. It may sound as if I'm exaggerating, but since that day, I haven't been able to tell people how I feel. Every time someone asks me or tries to see if there's something going on in my life, my answer is always the same. I'm okay, or I simply evade the question. I don't remember if it was days or weeks after the divorce when my parents sent me and my brother to therapy. There, I met my first therapist. I don't remember much about those days. My mind kind of erased them all. But I'm pretty sure I didn't say a single thing about my parents' divorce or how I felt about it in that whole year I was with my therapist. Now I'm 15 years old, with my third therapist, and it's only now that I have been able to tell people how I feel or even talk about my parents' divorce, because before that I wasn't able to do so. And that exact thing makes me actually a hypocrite, because that is actually the same thing I always tell my friends not to do. I hate when I see one of my friends hurting and I can't do anything about it. I always try to convince them to tell me what's wrong, to see if I can make their pain a little less painful. But when someone asks me, my answer is always the same. Communication is that bridge between your true self and what others think of you. It's that thin line between what you truly believe and what others think you do. Communication is basically how we do everything. It's how we ask for something in the cafeteria, how we talk to our friends, how we talk to our family. It's basically how we do everything. When we know how to communicate, there's a bond between people that starts growing. People start feeling trusting about you, or you start to trust people. But when you don't know how to communicate, that bond that was created between people starts to grow apart. And that's the power of communication. There are some important things that I have learned in therapy. 1. Clarity prevents conflict. A simple "I feel hurt," "I don't like this," "I prefer you do that," "I prefer you don't say that" can save days or weeks of anger. 2. Expression is relief. Think yourself as a snowball. When you roll the snowball, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, that snowball, it's your emotions. It becomes bigger and bigger until you can't control them anymore, until it explodes. And 3. Trust is built with words. No one reads our mind. No one knows exactly how we're feeling. That's why we have to tell them. We have to talk to people and create that bond that is between them and what makes them together. When I didn't know how to communicate, the first person I heard was me. I thought I was protecting myself when in reality I was just afraid of being vulnerable. Think about it. How many times have you gotten upset over a message that sounded rude when in reality it was just not meant that way? Well, I have an example for this. Approximately 2 years ago, on April 2024, I had a huge fight with 2 of my best friends. The funny thing was, I wasn't told about this fight. They literally just stopped talking to me. In that training, they used to ignore me, they didn't even look in my way. My birthday passed and I didn't receive any kind of congratulations from them. Of course, I started thinking maybe I had done something wrong. Maybe I had looked at them badly, or maybe I had said something I shouldn't have. Well, in reality, it was just a misunderstanding. And that's the power of communication, or the lack of it. The good news is that communication is not something we're born with. It's not something we are born knowing how to do it. I mean, no one is born knowing how to speak. Your teachers have to teach you, your parents have to teach you, and you practice each day by talking to your friends, by just saying hi to them, by talking to your family. It's a way of practicing about talking. But communication is a different thing. Communication is knowing how to open up to people and knowing how to talk to them. Because maybe you know someone that prefers something and you have to know how to talk to them. As well as people has to start to know how to understand you and how to talk to you. So imagine what would happen if we all did this. What would happen if everyone started to try to communicate to other people, maybe with feel seen, heard, and valued. People would start to be more trusting about other people, and bond between people would be stronger and longer. So maybe the real question isn't what if I say the wrong thing? Maybe the real question is what could I heal if I finally spoke up? Thank you.